I done seen these streets eat the best of niggas and teach the rest of niggas. If God willing every time, I'm gonna blame my nigga. I remember.
Yo. Peace and blessings, man. YouTube world, man. Much love, man. Big shout out, man. Big salute to all the real ones out there, man. Big shout out, big salute to all the kings and queens out there that's holding it down, man. Striving and thriving in your lives, man. Trying to do something productive and make shit better. As always, man, ain't nothing but love and respect, man, for real. To all my soldiers, man, all my young men, all my people that's still in the struggle, man, behind them walls, man. Hey, man, hold your head, bro. God willing, man, you're gonna be home soon, man. Remain strong, hold your head, stay in your books, man. Stay out the way, man. Stay in your lane, man. And hopefully you'll be home soon. As always, man, you know, back with another video, man. I was gone for a little minute, but now I'm back. You feel me? Before I start and get into this, man, y'all know what it is. Yo, hit that like button, man. Hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button, man. Let's try to, you know, let's grow this page. Let's grow this channel, man, so I can get my shit out there, man. Y'all help a brother out, man, for real. All right. Finna get into it. This story right here is about a robbery, right? But it was a controversial robbery that I actually set up in prison, but it was for a reason. It was for what I considered a good cause, but other people didn't agree with it. And it was kind of all centered around it, really. So it kind of correlates with gang activity in prison. All right. And I'm gonna tell you why. All right. So gangs in prison is like, that's prison life for the most part. That's like 85% of guys in prison are gang members or are affiliated with some type of organization, which in essence is a gang for the most part. Like, for instance, you could be Muslim, but as I said in past videos, Muslims in prison, most Muslims don't like to hear this, but I tell it how it is. Like, Muslims in prison is a gang in prison, all right? Because they gonna click together, they gonna fight together, they gonna go to war together, they gonna eat together, you know, they gonna take care of each other in there, you know what I mean? It's a gang. In prison, you have, you got your Bloods, you got your GDs, you got your Crips, you got your Muslims, you got the Mexicans, or the Hispanics or whatever. You got your white gang, that's like ABs, but also a little gang called Ghostface. That's all white boys. Oh, you got GF, you know what I mean? That's an Atlanta-based little group, you know what I mean? And they getting stronger and stronger in chain gang. So yeah, but matter of fact, them GF niggas, man, them GF niggas so wild, man. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. I'll get into that another time. But so here's the issue with most Muslims and Muslims as a whole in prison, is that vast majority of the so-called Muslims in prison were ex-gang members who got kicked out of their gang for whatever reason. You know, they got blackballed from the GDs for doing something they weren't supposed to do. They got put on a plate with the Bloods for doing something they weren't supposed to do, or whatever. And now they want to come be Muslim. All right. Muslims is one of the more passive groups in prison. And, you know, one of the more lesser powerful groups in Georgia prison. Well, I really can't say less powerful because we'll have a lot of stuff going on as far as the money goes. But as far as when it come time to get down to it, you know, the Muslims be having a lot of scary niggas with them. You feel me? And I ain't talking bad about them, just telling you how it is. And the reason why is because we get all the scraps. We get all the leftovers. We get all the motherfuckers that don't nobody want. You feel me? So when a nigga get kicked out his game for whatever reason, he want to come run, be a Muslim. Now we got this sucker ass nigga with us because we had to take him because it's a religion. Essentially, it's a religion. So you can't just say, oh, you can't be Muslim. But me, I wasn't rocking like that. Like at any time when I was any kind of authoritative figure or figure of authority, or anything, if I had to say anything, bruh, I wasn't going for that bullshit. Because you could easily tell who's really trying to change their life and be sincere Muslims, or who's just faking the funk and bullshit and trying to hide up under a group so that they can get protection. You know what I mean? And it's plain to see. It's easy to tell. You know what I mean? So this story was about a little guy from Chicago named Jit. They called this nigga Lil Jit. Alright. So Jit was from Chicago. And Jit was a young guy. I think he was like 20. He couldn't have been more than like 21, 22, something like that. He had a lot of time. You know what I mean? I think he had a life sentence or something, or he had a lot of time. He was from Chicago. So he used to be BGD. So there's a difference between BGD and GD. You got the Black Gangster Disciples. Then you got GD, which is Gangster Disciples, but they changed it to Growth and Development after Larry Hoover went to prison and tried to turn the movement around and whatever. But so he was a BGD. So BGDs and GDs typically don't get along. So anyway, he was a BGD. Came to prison, decided he wanted to become Muslim. Now, this guy was in the dorm with us. In fact, he was my roommate at this time. He was my cellmate. So, in the dorm that we was in, the Muslims, we had a powerful structure in that particular dorm. Normally, the Muslims don't have no strong structure like that in a dorm, because normally Muslims in Georgia may only be anywhere between 5 to 10 people. So 5 to 10 people. So you normally don't have that much of a power in a dorm, because you got 40 or 50 blood niggas and 40 or 50 GD niggas. You know what I mean? You ain't fucking with that. But in this particular dorm, we had like 25 Muslims. And the Muslims that we had in this dorm, them niggas was thugging. You know what I mean? Them niggas was thugging. You know what I mean? And they was all young niggas. You know what I mean? They all was ready to go about whatever. They all was some knife-toting motherfuckers ready to post something out over any little thing. So this guy, Jit, he used to always like to hang out with gang members. Now, in prison, you can hang out with who you want to hang out with. It's not just it's not just separated like that. You know what I mean? But when you hang out with too many gang niggas too much, it becomes an issue. It becomes an issue, right? Because now we can't trust you. You feel me? It's one thing, like me, I got friends that's Bloods, I got friends that GDs or whatever, and I'll pull up and chop it up, you know, for a few minutes, you know what I mean? But I ain't finna just be with y'all all day, you know what I mean? Ain't no Blood GD finna just be kicking it in my room all day. That's just not good, because at the end of the day, when shit pop off, and you gotta goddamn put the iron in somebody's life, whose side you gonna be on. You feel me? So your allegiance is questioned. So normally I would kind of overlook that when you're dealing with a young guy. If you're dealing with a 20, 21-year-old guy, he don't want to hang out with the Muslims. I understand that, because sometimes you have Muslims that's normally older, late 20s, early 30s, or even older, on up to 40 and 50-year-old guys that's Muslim. So I would understand a 20-year-old, you're not really hanging out with the Muslims in your dorm like that, because you can't really relate to them. They all older and more mature and really trying to strive to be righteous Muslims. But in this particular dorm, I didn't understand that with legit, because we got a group of young thugging Muslims from all over the nation. You from Chicago, but you hanging out with Atlanta niggas. We got, guys that's Muslim, that's 20, 21, 22, that's thugging, doing a thing, from New Orleans, from Atlanta, from, all over the place, St. Louis, all over the place, in this little group of guys. So why you not hanging out with these guys? You just deliberately insistent on hanging out with these gang members. Now, he had already got robbed in the dorm, his previous dorm, for hanging out with gang members. Now, in my opinion, the nigga was, I ain't gonna say he was a lame, but he was a soft ass nigga. I'll put it like that. He was a real soft ass nigga, right? And he got robbed by the GDs because they knew that he used to be BGD, but he was Muslim. He got robbed in another dorm. They took his phone. But you stay hanging out with GDs. All right, you stay the same niggas you was hanging out with all the time. These the same niggas who robbed you, right? So it became a big issue in that dorm because a Muslim got robbed. Some shit popped off behind this sucker ass nigga. You know what I mean? And that's cool. So when he came into my room, to be my cellmate, he had got him another phone. He was, hanging out with these guys, right? So at first I really wasn't stunned, for maybe like the first 2 months, maybe. He was in the room for about 2 months, I say. And I was kind of letting it ride, but I saw the danger, because I'm like, okay, bro, you hanging out with these niggas. These niggas rob you. If they rob you, which 9 times out of 10, they gonna end up robbing you, because use a fucking. The only reason why they probably wouldn't rob you is because you're in a dorm with Muslims. They're a little more stronger group in this particular dorm. But I saw what was inevitable and was eventually going to happen. All right. So I'm like, bro, why am I gonna sit here and let this guy get his shit took? Then we gotta come and defend you and go to war for you, and you don't even fuck with it. You're not praying with us. Now that was the main thing. You're not praying with us, period. I could see if you missing, because we all on the floor. We all in the main room, in the day room, offering salat, doing our thing. I could see if you missing some prayers. Not too many people just gonna make all 5 prayers every day. You might miss 2 or 3, you feel me? But you gonna come sometime. This dude wasn't even coming at all. And then on top of that, you're gambling, you rolling dice in the day room for everybody to see while we praying. Now he did that twice. After the second time that he did that, while the Muslims over here praying and you over here gambling, after he did that twice, is when I said, okay, it's over with. We gotta do something about this nigga, right? So now, as far as gambling goes, obviously a Muslim ain't supposed to be gambling. But I know, okay, we in chain gang. Y'all, we not perfect. You know what I mean? If you gonna do your thing, bro, you could do your thing, man. Do that shit in somebody's cell, bro. Go in somebody's cell and at least try to hide what the fuck you got going on, right? Don't just be blatantly in the open what everybody could see. Especially not while all the other Muslims over here praying, bro. Like, that's just straight disrespectful, straight violation, bro. You tripping. So I pulled up on a couple of my little guys, you know what I mean? And matter of fact, somebody brought it to me like, man, you see legit man on the floor, gambling and shit while we making salat. And I'm like, yeah, I peeped that, you know what I mean? So I'm like, look, bro, this what we gonna do. Shit. First thing, this nigga got to go. We got to get rid of him. He got to get up. We got to slide him. Slide a nigga or put a nigga on the door means you kicking him out the door. You finna pack his shit, put it in the, you finna pack his shit in the bag and send that nigga to another dorm, right? Well, normally if you get put on the door, the officer's gonna take you to the hole first. You're gonna go to solitary, or it's really not solitary because you got a roommate in there, but you're gonna go to the hole until they find you another dorm to go to or whatever. But so I said, look, bro, we gonna slide him, but I want y'all to take that nigga phone too. So me, I had a phone, you know what I mean, my own phone, but I want to get this nigga phone because the Muslims needed more phones among us, because everybody coming to use my shit and shit like that. So goddamn, and a couple other brothers had phones, but it's like 25 of us in the dorm. I think we had like 5 or 6 phones among us, you know what I mean? So I'm like, look, bro, we can get this nigga phone, and goddamn, you know, we can rotate that phone around the brothers who don't got no phone, you know, and let them use it for an hour a day or some shit. So they like, oh yeah, hell yeah, we with it. So it was a little brother named the fuck was that nigga name? Yusuf. The wild ass ock named Yusuf. Yusuf was from New York. Yusuf was from somewhere in New York, right? Little bitty little dude, right? Little skinny little bitty little dude, right? But he was wild, man. When I tell you this nigga here finna put that knife in your ass for real. He ain't asking no questions, you know what I mean? So he amped. You feel me? He ready to get this nigga. Cause nobody even really liked Lil Jit, cause Lil Jit didn't really fuck with us, you know what I mean? But you carrying the banner of Islam, but you ain't fucking with the Muslims. You ain't rocking with the Muslims, you know what I mean? That shit wasn't cool. So didn't nobody really like Jit. So I told him, look, we gonna get this nigga first thing in the morning, right? Right after the early morning prayer, because you know the Muslims, we gotta make a salat early in the morning. Normally they come in like 5 o'clock in the morning, right? Most of everybody else be asleep. So so they like, all right. I'm like, look, after salat, I'm just not gonna come back to the room. He gonna be in there asleep because he don't never wake up for salat. So y'all just slide in there, handle the business. You know what I mean? I didn't tell these niggas to pull this nigga out. I ain't tell these niggas to stab this nigga, right? But I just wanted them to take his phone and send him on his way. But this shit, when I tell you this shit goddamn went crazy, right? So three brothers went in there, and Lil Yusuf was one of the brothers that went in there to go get the dude, man. And they went in there, and about, you know, as soon as they ran up in there, a few seconds later, I hear ruffling, tumbling. So I'm like, God damn, what the fuck? I know this nigga ain't bucking, cause they got big ass knives like this fucking long and shit. So I know he not bucking. Then he a soft ass nigga anyway. But what happened was, and next thing I know, they carting Lil Jit out the room like this. His whole white t-shirt is fucking red. His whole fucking white t-shirt is fucking red. You couldn't even tell it was a white t-shirt. So I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck, bruh? So I'm starting to get worried, like, man, I ain't 10, bruh, for it to go like that, bro. But so they kicked him out. The people come run in, you know what I mean? They locked us down, they locked the dorm down, you know what I mean? Normally when they lock a dorm down, they gonna see what's going on. Once they find out that it's not two opposing groups clashing, then they'll let you off lockdown probably within like 1 or 2 days, you know what I mean? But if they see that it's two clashing groups, y'all gonna be on lockdown for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, however long they feel like it's necessary till that shit die down. So since they found out that it was the Muslims just violating, you know, one of our own, they went ahead and let us off. We was on lockdown for a few hours, you know what I mean? And Jit wasn't hit up bad. It's just in prison, when you get barely pierced by them little knives, it be a whole lot of blood. It look way, way worse than what it is. But so what happened when they ran up in there, I found out what happened, and they said they went up in there, man, and they shook little Jit awake. And, you know, he woke up startled, like, what the fuck going on? What's going on? And said one of the ox was like, hey, man, where your phone at, bro? You need to come up out that phone, bro. You know, I already know what it is. And he said, goddamn, what the fuck? Y'all niggas robbing me, bro? Y'all niggas. And they said Usajit went off, bro. They said Usajit, this nigga was a fucking live wire, man, loose cannon ass nigga. This stupid ass nigga, bro, just took off, bro, and just started stabbing the nigga, bro. Started hitting him in his chest and shit, bro. Like, and they said at that point, you know, Jit kind of spazzed out, you know what I mean? Tried to get up off the bed, and that's when all the rumbling and tumbling and tussling and shit, you know what I mean? Yusuf ended up going to the hole behind that situation, but he was the only one, cause he pretty much just, you know, kept it real and you know, turned itself in, basically, you know what I mean? Cause the police wanted to know who stabbed this man, you know what I mean? They were gonna have us on lockdown for way longer, you know what I mean? So Yusuf went ahead and yeah, I did that, you know, whatever. So man, the heat, bro, the heat from the rest of the Muslim community around the whole compound came down on me, boy. If I wasn't who I was, like if I didn't have some type of authority, because at the time I wasn't the imam at that time, but I had been the imam at other prisons. Matter of fact, this was like the last stretch of my bid. This was like, I got like a year left, and I had told y'all in the previous video that I had stepped down from being the imam because I almost caught another charge from this situation that happened at Smith prison. So when I got to Macon State prison, where I'm at, where this story takes place, I was like, nah, I don't want to be no imam. But people still respected me, and people still listened to me because they know, you know, once you a chief, you always a chief, unless you do something crazy to make people lose respect for you. You know what I mean? So even if you don't got the official title as a chief, niggas still gonna look at you as chief. You know what I mean? So man, the motherfuckers came down on me, bro. Like, so I got a call from the imam, and he was like, man, what happened? You know what I mean? What happened in the dorm? And I'm like, man, look, bro, Jit was tripping, bro. You know what I mean? The nigga, I'm telling him all the things that he was doing. You know what I mean? He wasn't Muslim. Like, technically, he was not Muslim, bro. And you're about to endanger the other Muslims if these niggas who you fucking with try to do something to you like they did in the dorm you just came from, bro. So it's my obligation. I'm trying to leave out the situation in one piece, bro. I ain't trying to leave out with no scars, no extra holes, none of that shit. So my main priority was my safety and then the safety of all the Muslims. You know what I mean? So you're a safety hazard. So you had to be dealt with. So I was explaining it to him. Then I explained, you know, how you know, he was gambling while we making salat, you know what I mean, on the floor, you know what I mean, where everybody could see and whatever. And he like, man, still, bro, they don't give y'all no right to stab that man up like that, bro. You know, one thing that the Muslims always say, especially in prison, is a Muslim's three things dealing with a Muslim is sacred: his blood, his property, and his honor, right? Blood, property, and honor. Those like the three things, especially in chain gang, that they live by. You can't violate. If you shed a Muslim blood, whether you a Muslim yourself or whether you are opposition or whatever, we ain't going for that shit. A Muslim's blood, his property, you steal his property, if you take his property or damage his property or something like that, we ain't going for that. In his honor, you know what I mean, his honor is just simply could be humiliating him some type of way, slandering him, lying on him, you know, whatever, you know what I mean. Blood, property, honor, those three things you don't violate dealing with a Muslim. So this is what the imam telling me, as if I don't know this shit. And he like, yeah, man, y'all done shed that man blood, man, bada bada bada. Then y'all took the man phone. So we eventually had to get a phone back. He like, man, y'all need to come on back with that phone, bro. You know what I mean? Like, y'all need to get that man his phone back, bro. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, cool. We get a nigga his phone back. You know what I mean? So and then he was like, and also, who all was the brothers who ran up in that man room? And matter of fact, it was more than just 3 brothers. It was like 5 brothers that ran in the room. So Yusuf already in the hole for stabbing a nigga. So it's 4 other brothers. And these 4 brothers is like the top shooters that I got in my dorm with me. So he was like, look, I want you to slide them 4 brothers, send them to the hole, the ones who ran up and took that man's shit. So I'm like, look, I'm like, hold up, bro. I'm like, listen, man. I said, we got a power structure in this dorm. You know what I mean? We strong in this dorm. I said, if you take away our 4 strongest people, bro, that's gonna fuck up our whole power structure, bro. I said, it's got to be another way, bro. So I said, well, is it okay if we just give them some lashes? Giving people lashes in Islam, in prison, in Islam in general, but especially in prison, giving somebody lashes, you know, where they bend over with their shirt off and you lash them on their back with like a wet belt or some shit, you know, a certain number of times, you know what I mean? That's like a form of punishment, a violation, right? So I'm like, man, just let me get him some lashes. So he like, okay, I feel what you're saying, man, as far as fucking up y'all power structure down there and shit. So yeah, rally them brothers up, get them some lashes, right? So I tell the brothers, you know what I mean, I tell the brothers what's going on, and they all was like, okay, you know, we got to get these lashes. Okay, bet. So they all, you know, took turns. I got some belts. I got like 3 belts, and I kind of like braid them up together into one belt, and then wet it under the sink, and goddamn hit them, you know what I mean? But I think they all got like 10 lashes or something like that. So I felt bad. I actually felt bad because I'm administering these lashes, but I'm the one who sent y'all in there to do that, you feel me? So I felt responsible. So I was like, so after I lashed them, I was like, hey man, look, man, you know, hey, I go to taking my shirt off, like, hey man, look, bro, which one of y'all gonna lash me, bro? I'll take the lashes too, bro. You know what I mean? But then nobody wanna lash me. You feel me? So I had actually got on the ground and everything. I had bent over, got on the ground, you know what I mean? I'm like, look, you know, take the belt. Then nobody wanna lash me, you know what I mean? You know, for whatever level of respect they have for me or whatever, man. So that's you know, that's significant, you feel me? But well, yeah, so that was that, man. That's the story of Jit, man. The crazy ass motherfucker Jit, man. You know what I mean? I'm sorry that shit went down the way it did. It wasn't intended for the nigga to goddamn pop off like that the way he did, man. But, you know, at the end of the day, man, mashallah, it happened the way it happened. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Hey, look, y'all hit that like button, man. Hit that motherfucking like button, man. Hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button, man. Hit that notification bell so y'all know whenever I put out a new video, man. Y'all stay tuned, man. We gonna keep these shits coming, man. We gonna hey, look, man, nigga, ex-convict, man, out here trying to make it, man. Out here making big moves, actually, man. I'm networking with some powerful people out here, man. We making real estate moves, man. We out here doing it, man. I plan on being a real big success story, bro. Like one of the biggest ex-cons that ever did it in America. That's my goal, man. I ain't stopping. I'm keeping going. Success is the only option, and we here, man. Y'all stay tuned, man. Peace.